A lot changed when she lost her leg, but one thing has not changed: my determination to fight for her. As a chef, I believe food is one of the most powerful tools we have to heal the body, and I used that belief when my husband battled cancer, and I'm going to use it again now. Every ingredient in my homemade dog food recipe is chosen with purpose. I start with a whole chicken and cover it with water and chicken stock. The reason I don't use all chicken stock is it does have a high sodium content, so I do a 1-to-3 ratio. Now, while that comes up to a boil, I get my grains prepared, and I do a combination of grains. I have steel cut oats, I have green lentils, I have flax seeds, chia seeds, rice, farro, quinoa. This is a combination of grains you are just never going to find in a store-bought dog food. Next, I prepare the vegetables, and I do try to keep this recipe to a 60% protein, 30% vegetables, and 10% grains, as you will see. I am not a veterinarian, guys, so do your research before changing your pet's diet, but after extensive reading, this is what I've landed on to give her the best quality of life and to help her healing. It is quite a long process to make this food, but this will give her enough food for approximately 2 weeks to be mixed in with her kibble. And if you're wondering why I go through all the trouble, the answer is simple. Because when someone you love is fighting to heal, you do everything that you can. And cooking is my language of love. It's how I cared for my husband during cancer, and now it's how I care for her, one homemade meal at a time. As this whole chicken simmers, it releases collagen into the broth, and that collagen breaks down into gelatin, creating a nutrient-rich broth that can help support her joint health and tissue repair. After losing a leg, her body is doing a lot of healing and adjusting. Once I pull all of the chicken bones and meat out of the pot, I add my steak, my salmon with the skin on, and cover that and let it cook. Now, while that's cooking, I pull apart the chicken meat, so I'm taking the bones out and reserving the meat. And once the steak and salmon in the broth comes back up to a boil, I go ahead and add my sweet potatoes, green beans, and all of my grains, and then add that pulled chicken right back into the mix, along with all the rest of my vegetables. I know I can't heal her with food alone, but if love, determination, and nutrition count for anything, she's going to get an extra helping of all three. Lastly, I add my spices to the mix, which is Italian seasoning, a lot of turmeric, and a lot of black pepper, as those have anti-inflammatory properties. And this is where I take it off the heat. Oh, and I almost forgot, collagen powder. And now I just run everything through the blender with a little splash of water to get it moving, and I leave it kind of chunky. I think that the dogs enjoy the texture as opposed to just pureed food. Here's what it looks like before, and it goes into the blender with just a little splash of water, and I blend it on pulse. And this makes so much I have to actually put it in a large bus tub to have the entire amount in one container. And then I just get my freezer bags ready and I portion it up, and this gives me enough for approximately 2 weeks. I freeze some of the bags and refrigerate the others. And she's such a good girl, she knows she gets to lick the bowl when I'm done. One more thing I wanted to mention is I'm not completely getting rid of kibble from my dog's diet. I am just fortifying that kibble with the homemade dog food. So I'm currently using about a 1-to-3 ratio. I'm hoping to get that to be the opposite, where it's 2 parts homemade dog food, 1 part kibble, but slowly integrating that into her diet so she doesn't have digestive issues. She surprises me every day with her resilience. And if she can face this with a wagging tail, I think there's a lesson in that for all of us.